Welcome to the start of a road to victory for the Pacific, and it's going to be my US Marines taking on my friend Colin's Imperial Japanese Army. We're going to be using the theatre selectors for the Guadalcanal time period. Take a look at this. You can find it on the www.net. They will give they've got a download that you can look through it. The initial setup is a second lieutenant, 2 infantry squads not costing more than 110 points each. You get a national characteristic unit, which for the Americans is a bazooka and for the Japanese is a sniper. You then roll 2 random units, and you can pick those from a table, and then you roll to see if you get any transports. That's what we did, and we did that before the game, and set up a terrain board for the jungle. I worked very hard setting up loads of palm trees and different things. I bought some Far East Sarissa village huts and put them on bases. Got a couple of palm trees and put them on different bases, and they came out reasonably well for the game. Got to get a few more to do, but we're quite pleased with how it looked on the night. So let's get on with it, and we'll go through the 2 armies that we rolled up for the US Marines for me and the Imperial Japanese for Colin. So the US Marine Advance Force, and what we have is a second lieutenant. He is regular. We've got a squad of regular American infantry, Marines, with 2 bars and the rest rifles. We've then got an engineer team, which has got 2 bars and a flamethrower. Again, 8 men. We've got a veteran bazooka, a veteran anti-tank, medium anti-tank gun, a medium mortar, and a truck for transport. So the Japanese, what have we got? We've got a second lieutenant who's regular. We've got 2 squads of regular Japanese infantry, 10 men in each. We've got a grenadier squad with 2 light mortars. We've got a veteran sniper team, a regular flamethrower team, and a truck, and the little Japanese version of a jeep. So that's the Japanese army. We're looking at the differences: 8 dice to the Japanese and 7 to the Marines. For our first game of the Pacific campaign, using the Road to Victory settings, we have a small village in a jungle setting, and going to be the Marines and the Japanese to fight it out. Alright, this evening's game, there's Colin's hand. This evening's game is going to be a meeting engagement, and the Japanese and the US Marines are going to be meeting in the village. And the nice twist is whoever holds the village at the end will be the defenders in the next round, which is hold until relieved. So we're going to go through and set up the figures for the first turn. So, first game of the campaign, and what was my strategy? Well, not to get units killed. Try to keep some safe, keep them safe, because obviously at the end of the game we will be looking at morale going up or down because of the campaign rules. Some units might actually not come back. Vehicles, obviously, if they get destroyed, don't come back. So looking at that. Try to take out Japanese units, that's always good, so that makes Colin roll at -1s for the morale changes rather than me if I lose. Also looking at the sniper, which was deployed at the start of the game, and that was deployed into the centre building, which gave him quite a good look around. The trees, the terrain pieces with the palm trees are blocking line of sight. All the rest is just soft cover. So you'll see the ones with the bigger palm trees, those ones block line of sight, with the exception of the house, which has just got them on for actual scenic purposes. That's a small print. So we'll move into the turn 1. The only deployments were initially the sniper for the Japanese and my mortar observer, which I put down, able to see the building that the sniper was in, and not in a position where the sniper could actually see my guy. So let's move on to turn 1 and into the game. Right, end of turn 1, and all the units are on the board. The US Marines have come on from the left-hand side, set up their mortar in the corner. Infantry unit advancing into the centre. Bazooka team, bit redundant in this game I think perhaps, and the second lieutenant moving up to the woods with the palm trees. Deployed down the medium anti-tank gun, and of course the snotty sniper in the building on ambush. Took a shot and killed one of the crew and gave me 1 pin. All was the way. Advanced on the unit of American Marines into the soft cover. Fired their bars and rifles at the sniper, but needed double sixes to get a hit, and safe to say they didn't. Far side, we thought we'd be sneaky and a bit cheesy, bring on the truck with a medium machine gun and take a pop at the Japanese little Jeep type car that came on, and I know that it's got the flamethrower team in there, but he survived, didn't even get a hit. So with the Japanese, they've advanced one squad up into the centre, and over on the left flank we've got the Grenadiers in the wood with their knee mortars. They did try and fire, but they were out of range, and the truck came on with its medium machine gun, took a shot and took out one of the engineers and put 1 pin on them. Final turn of the game was was the Japanese unit that came out onto run order onto the table, and we're now going to put all the dice back in for the start of turn 2. So first blood to the Japanese, and the Americans are trying to get some access into the battlefield. So end of turn 2, and the pain is continuing from the sniper. Of course, the Japanese, it's only 8 dice to 7 in the Japanese favour, and of course 2 Japanese dice come out straight away. So sniper takes off another gunner, able to pass the leadership test and to reduce 1 pin. It did get an opportunity to fire at the last by passing its leadership tech, but did miss the building with the sniper, sadly. The squad here took some pain from the little knee mortars. They shot at them, so I had to get them out of the way and make sure that they were safe in the woods this turn. Got them to move. The mortar team was going to require 5 next time. Colin brought the little truck on to threaten down this flank, but did move it close to the observer, too close, and I did mention to him that it would destroy itself. So he moved it back and then took a shot at my mortar team and was able to kill one and put a pin on them. They did pass their test, their leadership test to shoot, and they lobbed a shot at the building, but didn't hit it, so they'll need a 5 next turn. Japanese are getting quite aggressive, as they always do.
Yeah, they always do.
And the other Japanese squad has advanced up behind the wood area here. This one blocks line of sight because it's got a large palm tree. And that's what we said at the beginning, any ones with the large palm trees block line of sight, with the exceptions of the ones by the building. Second squad advanced up to the left of the hut on the Japanese player's side. Couldn't put them into the hut because obviously it's a building and the sniper's already in there. So Colin's got to do some thinking what he's going to do next with that. He may well think that he's going to keep him in there, risk the sniper, but take out the medium anti-tank gun. The little flamethrower guy moved round at a run and has parked behind the wood there. And then I moved my truck up just to bring it more centre to the little troopers, remembering that because it was out there on its own, the Japanese Jeep type car could have destroyed it by getting close to it. So I moved that off to make it a bit more safe. So end of turn 2, the Japanese are getting aggressive, moving up. US Marines have taken a few casualties, got a few pins on. We'll see whose first dice come out next turn. So we'll move into turn 3. End of turn 3, and I'm happy to say that the medium anti-tank gun is still surviving. The first 2 dice out were for the Marines. The anti-tank gun did take a shot at the sniper in the building, but that did miss. However, the good old mortar team passed their leadership test and put a round into the building and killed the sniper and his mate on double sixes to wound. So that was very pleasing. So that was quite good. Conversely, though, the engineer group in the woods took a direct hit from the knee mortars, who rolled double 6 to hit after they'd moved with their light mortars, and removed quite a few, and I've now got 3 men left of the 8-man squad. So they are not so good as they were, and also 4 pins to boot. So that's a bit of a problem. The truck again put a few more shots into the mortar, but just put a pin on them. Fortunately they survived, didn't take any wounds. Japanese squad huddling in the wood. Only if I had something nice, big, heavy artillery to plonk on them, because as you can see, they'd die. But sadly, I don't think I have. Perhaps a lucky 6 with a mortar might get them.
Might do.
Well, you never know. We'll see who gets the first dice. On the right flank, not quite so bad for the Marines. The Japanese are advancing round. I don't think they want to go in the house now that the mortar's zeroed in on them. The officer has come up behind the little jeep, and the jeep with the flamethrower is just hiding behind the wood. Colin put his troops onto ambush just in case I was to run forward. Can't see me doing that. However, I put the truck onto ambush so that could threaten the little jeep if it came out from behind those woods, and I put the Marine squad onto ambush in the soft cover here. So we'll see how we're going to turn 4. It might be a bit stalemate in turn 4, but I'm hoping for the first dice out, and I'll get the mortar and I'll roll a 6, and there won't be nothing left of those.
No.
So moving into turn 4. Into turn 4, and things are not looking good for the Marines. The Japanese advanced out their unit and triggered my ambush from the truck and also from the squad that, if you remember, was in the soft cover here. I was able to kill a few of the Japanese that came out and put 2 pins on them. However, not enough to get rid of them. What that did allow was space for the jeep to come out, and then the flamethrower team to jump out and advance, and they rolled well enough to hit the squad that were in the wood. Caused 2 casualties, but the pins put the unit up to 3, and they failed the leadership test and then disappeared. Over on this side, the bazooka team did actually try to hit them before they jumped out, but missed with the modifiers that came into play. Unit here went down just to prevent damage and stayed down, so they did lose a few pins. However, the Japanese now have come out of the wood and will no doubt try to advance on them next turn. They're not going to be able to hold them off at all. The officer has run behind the gun on this side. So looking very dire for the Americans at the end of turn 4. So we're moving to turn 5, and not sure there's going to be much left of them after that. So end of turn 5, and things are really dire now. The flame crew, flamers, came out and proceeded to torch the bazooka team. Got rid of them. The infantry here have advanced up. The heavy gun, the medium anti-tank gun, did take a shot at the jeep, missed, and then the jeep has taken the opportunity to scoot out of the way now, so it's safe. Officer has taken a better part of valour and run off, so he could be safe from being attacked. Not so much the medium anti-tank gun. So we're going to move into turn 6 and see if there's anything left of the Americans at the end of that. Yeah. End of turn 6, and there was a little bit of glimmer of hope and honour for the Americans. The one man with the medium anti-tank gun turned it round, took a shot at the truck, needed a 6, got a 6, needed a 4, got a 4, truck gone. So got 1 dice out of it. However, they were then assaulted by the Japanese infantry unit and overrun. The officer went down to the shooting of the Japanese in the soft cover and survived. Flamethrower team came up and they were a millimetre out, so survived that. But we've rolled another dice and we're going into turn 7. I better check the rules to make sure that it does go into turn 7, but we'll have a look. So speak to you after the next. So, end of turn 7, I'd like to say that the lone officer fought off the Japanese squad. but I can't. He was decimated by the Japanese without returning fire. So that was it. End of the turn. End of the game. So first game of the campaign. The Japanese have certainly taken the field. So we'll move into our campaign game 2 next week, and that'll be hold until relieved for the next game. So can the Japanese hold on to their gains from the Americans? Well, a fairly brutal beating for the Americans, but yeah, better luck next game. What we've done is we've worked out the changes for our units for the campaign, and in the financial circles it says some things do go up and also some things can go down. So we've had a bit of a roll, and it does penalise the losers by a -1 on the dice rolls on your units that were destroyed or have stayed in the battle. So we did that. We've worked out what we're getting. I think the Japanese got another infantry squad and an armoured carrier, and the Americans have got 2 infantry squads. We'll go through it at the beginning of the next video to see what's been added in, and we'll looking forward to our next game, hoping that the Americans can do something a bit better and pull out a win. So if you like the video, please give it a tick, give it a like, subscribe if you want to see more. Please do any comments that you'd like, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So thanks very much for watching.